Wartime dramas are typically not easy topics to cover, especially for those who have family members involved or people who were directly a part of the setting. Looking back on it through the lens of today works, but only to an extent. To many in the United States, the Korean War was something not really spoken of. It was never seen as a victory, really, nor was it seen as a total loss. For South Korea, though, it remains one of the most pivotal moments in its history. With that noted, long since then, films have been made about this moment in time. Some documentaries, while other dramatizations of characters within the time period. To clarify, there's nothing wrong with making stories that are in this kind of setting, but it does feel off when the story isn't based on any actual person. The plot of this film is about two brothers, Jin-tae Lee, played by Jang Dong-gun, and Jin-suk Lee, played by Won Bin, who are as close as brothers can get. They are living their lives until North Korea invades the South. Now things are changing and the military has drafted Jun-suk. Fearing he will lose his brother to the carnage of war, Jin-tae follows suit and joins as well to protect his brother at all costs, and send him back home to the family with Mother Lee, played by Yeong-ran Lee, and Young-shin Kim, played by Eun-ju Lee. However, as time progresses, the war begins to affect the two brothers differently. The script was written by Sang-dong Kim, Han Ji-hoon, and Je-kyu Kang. Kang directed the picture too. According to many, this film is highly regarded and thought to be one of the best films that take place during the Korean War. As mentioned before, though, dramatization around the setting is fine, provided it makes sense to the history. Here, though, there doesn't seem to be any true story based on the characters that take place in this narrative. Sure, the Korean War happened, no questions asked, but there doesn't seem to be a record of a soldier under the name Jin-tae Lee, who made his way through the ranks. If the soldier was that brave and memorable, it would have been all the more interesting that the film was based on a true story or true events. However, the writers seem to have crafted the story on their own. Credit to them for making such a captivating story surrounding actual events. But it still is weird the actual characters didn't exist, at least so it seems. Aside from the historical inaccuracies, the story about the characters is worth the watch anyway. It is because of the brothers' change in perspective on war that helps give the audience new takeaways from such moments in life without having to experience it like soldiers in the army have, thankfully. It should also give viewers an appreciation for their fellow infantrymen who put their lives on the line from then and now. As much as films love to indulge in glorifying war and the people involved, it really is something no one should ever have to experience. And yet humans are flawed enough where it'll happen anyway. There are several moments where viewers will get emotional or tear up due to just the sad nature of the inevitable dread that comes with war and its consequences. The visuals were well on point for the film. Kyung-pyo was credited as the cinematographer. The film throughout has large enough shots to show the audience the scope of the war and the toll it takes on the characters. Kyung-pyo is able to show the realism of war as well. It is not pretty. Kyung-pyo would also shoot for Parasite. The only part that doesn't work are the close-up fight scenes, which involve shaky camera. It's understood that the idea is to disorient the viewer, because that's essentially how the scene would feel in first person. But it does get annoying at times. Lastly, the film score composed by Dong-jun Lee was impressive. Containing full orchestra with a male choir really helps give the film a heroic feel. The soundtrack also exists and is a great listen. There are many positives to this film. Its production, components, and cast all make the viewing experience worth the watch. It has all the characteristics of a good war film. The only downside is that the character story doesn't seem to be based on any person historically, other than being in the war setting.